I remember. Even I lost the game once. And the price was my very life.
When the world needed him the most, they sent him. Storm Arena has put up for pre-order Charlie Nash. And yes, we're going to be addressing this figure as Nash because honestly, looking back, I feel like the reason why Storm Arena chose solely Nash is because it's 4 letters and that's a lot easier to put on this page than 9 or 10 with Charlie Nash. I'm very excited to be talking about this pre-order because the indications of Darkstalkers or for Darkstalkers. We haven't gotten a pre-order yet for that line, so I feel like the first pre-order we do get is going to be absolutely mind-blowing. And you can see that with Nash, as we progress through these lines of Storm Arena, the figures keep getting better and better, providing much more than the first initial releases. Like for an example, Ryu. I feel as if Ryu was a bit rushed or it just was a little bit underwhelming, especially when compared to the other Storm Arena pre-orders that we have available now. Doesn't take away from the figure being absolutely great. However, I'm just letting you know that's how I'm feeling. With this pre-order though, you can see we're getting quite a bit with the 2 head sculpts, the kick effect, we have our glasses, the chain, and then 4 pairs of hands plus the stand. That is a pretty solid release, and all of this coming in at $30 because this figure is now available for pre-order over at BBTS. So if you want to get your pre-orders in, make sure you do so, and is going to be releasing the first quarter of 2026. That making this pre-order now the 3rd Storm Arena figure to be releasing in Q1 of 2026, and we don't know the verdict yet on Baki, if this figure will be releasing by the end of this year or if it's going to be coming out in Q1 of 2026. We've got a lot to look forward to in 2026 across the board, from the FIFA World Cup to all of the releases from Tamashii, and even more so for Storm Arena. So, like I said, smash that like button, smash that hype button, and let's continue this pre-order breakdown. When it comes to the promotional images, yeah, this figure, I was a bit skeptical with the vest because of the articulation, but it looks like we've got nothing to worry about. Clearly, we're getting plenty of range of motion with this figure, with the vest. The shoulders obviously going to be coming in and out. I wonder how that's going to work actually. You know, what we've seen in the past with Ryu and Ken, how far the shoulders can come around. This is clearly playing into that, and although it does kind of look a bit strange, I can't wait to get the figure in hand to see how it looks when you actually pull it out as far as it can go. Kick effect looks good, nice and green, translucent. I like that. You can see the hands. He's doing a T-pose right now, so that's great. Oh, I want to cover the sleeves for the joints. If you haven't seen my Dopo Orochi nature review, we just dropped that yesterday. Go and check that out. Phenomenal figure, beautiful day for review. Just go check that out. But in that review, I was talking about the sleeves covering the joints. Here you can see the joint is a little visible there, but we are getting more detailing in the sleeves covering the joints. You can see the veins are going through. The veins are going through and it's connecting seamlessly. So very nice and detailed, and extremely excited. Once we get to the 20th reveal, I mean, these figures are going to be crazy. Even more so here in the back. Now, if you go and look at that review of Dopo, the back legs are not covered nearly as nice as we see here with Charlie Nash. So that's just another indicator that yes, as we progress through this line, figures are going to improve over time. What else is there I wanted to cover? No, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I will also say with the glasses, because of how thick they are, they do look a bit goofy on the head sculpt, right? I think we can all agree on that. Even when you go and look at Hanayama, who's down here, you know, because the glasses are so thick, you know, it does look a bit goofy, but it still turns out great, you know, turns out great. A nice lineup for 2026. Very excited, you know. I was excited when I first saw the figure, and I'm even more excited for the pre-order. And it's just crazy because I feel like as we go to New York Comic Con, which we will be there. So make sure that if you're not subscribed, to subscribe. We're going to cover all the reveals, do booth tours and things like that. When it comes to the Comic-Con, it makes me think that we're going to get another wave of reveals. If I go there and there's just like a card on display that shows another wave of roster of characters from Alpha 3, I'm going to be excited, even if it's just a little card, because I know within a year's time of seeing that, we'll see all 6 of those figures, at least by a prototype. So very excited. I know a lot of people are upset with Storm Arena because of the delays, especially with Baki, and the amount of pre-orders. We've got nearly 10 pre-orders available for Storm Arena. Well, I guess at this point we've got 7, but that's a lot of pre-orders within a year's time. So maybe they're rushing things quickly, but from what I've been seeing, from what I've been gathering and documenting, they are on a strong pace forward. They're doing really good. They've got great momentum, and I wouldn't be surprised if this time next year the amount of pre-orders are doubled. Mind you, we still have Darkstalkers, and we know that's at least 2 figures. We still have KOF, that's another 2 figures. That's 4 figures right there. Plus Chun-Li, that's another figure. That's 5 figures that we've already seen but has not gone up for pre-order. Chun-Li, for an example, that's another thing. She, if you're going by the roadmap, that would have been the next figure to go up for pre-order. Instead, we're getting Charlie. So that just shows to me that they're putting more attention to Chun-Li, hopefully, or it could mean that there was an issue at the factory or something like that. Any which way, I am very excited for the future of Storm Arena. You know, they haven't been out for a year yet, and they hit the ground running. Of course, you're going to trip up when you do that, and you can see that with Baki, and even maybe more so with Chun-Li. But I think in 2 years' time, that would be an indicator as to how they progress from the beginning up until then. So 2027, you know, we're going to be looking at Storm Arena under a different lens. And with Jada, you know, in their first year, they came and absolutely smashed it. You know, they set new boundaries for the industry. They revolutionized the industry. Some would even argue they inspired a lot of other companies like Storm Arena. But now here we are 2 years later, and although they are expanding, doing different IPs and such like that, production does seem to be slowing on the Street Fighter side of things because we're missing some pre-orders. Where's the pre-order for Akuma? Where's the pre-order for E Honda? I am aware of the Player 2 Cammy pre-order that's an event exclusive or Entertainment Earth exclusive, but you know, we're missing some things. But thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this pre-order breakdown. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that hype button for some Storm Arena Charlie Nash. Let's go, baby. Until then, we'll see you next time. Peace.